Our founders believed that every time government grows larger, our liberties grow smaller.
I am telling you as an American, it's time for you to get armed. I don't really care what your background is. I don't care if you're right or left, black or white. It doesn't matter to me. Only an armed nation will survive what's coming in this country. There was a time in Germany before Hitler when the Germans were allowed to have weapons. But then Hitler came along, and one of his first laws was the seizure of all weapons from the German people, precisely to prevent an uprising against his breed of government. Fidel Castro, the good friend of Sean Penn, did the same thing in Cuba. One of the first laws that the Castro criminals enacted in Cuba was to seize the weapons of the Cuban people so there could be no uprising against these illegitimate communist ghouls in Cuba. Tell that to your friend Sean Penn from Ross at Hollywood, California. Tell it to him. Tell him about the rules in Cuba, why there's such peace in Cuba. But let's go to America. We have a Second Amendment. It was given to us, or we gave it to ourselves, our ancestors did, however you want to put it. And in the whole history of America, are you aware of the fact that you've lived through historic times in many ways, including that in this year, for the first time in the history of this great republic, the U.S. Supreme Court reviewed the Second Amendment to determine once and for all whether or not the Second Amendment implied or gave you the right, personal right to bear arms. And the Supreme Court ruled just 5-4. Again, the very same anti-Americans, the same anti-American cabal on the Supreme Court, by a hairbreadth, try to take away your right to protect yourself. Ruth Bad Girl Ginsburg, David Souter, and the others, they said you have no right to protect yourself. They said you have to hide and cower in the basement and wait to be killed. They said leave it to the government to protect you. Well, let me ask you something. Where was the government on 9/11? I know that's a harsh question to ask. There is no government when it comes to terrorism. There's only you. I don't think you understand that yet. There is no government when it comes to terrorism. Terrorism can be anywhere. Terrorism can be everywhere. Terrorism is anywhere. And terrorism is anywhere. That means be vigilant. Be vigilant. That means be aware. That means expect to protect yourself at any time. That means walk like a human, not like a moron. Don't walk like an American stampeding into Walmart to buy a television. Don't be like the idiots in the malls today who have no reason to live. They may as well be an animal, a pack animal with a saddle on their back. That's the way I look at it. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry to tell you that's how I see the world. I have nothing but contempt for people like this, that their whole life is buying some piece of garbage they don't even need. But let's put aside my contempt for the average man. Let me tell you what I'm saying in other words. I'll put it to you in another way. Only vigilance will protect you. That means be ready. One of the first rules, and I'm not a martial artist, but I study all forms of self-defense, including the mental, which is, of course, the ultimate form of self-defense. The first rule of self-defense is always be prepared for an attack. Mentally and physically, always be prepared for an attack. That means if you're a woman and you go into a mall, you've been told, watch your step in a parking lot. You've been told before you unlock your doors, for God's sakes, look around you in a parking lot. See if there's anyone lurking around looking to jump in and grab your keys and take you hostage. Let's put aside terrorism. Let's talk only about our own homegrown animals that are patrolling America right now. So it goes down to the simplest thing. Be prepared, be vigilant. But it goes beyond that. It goes beyond that to be armed. You must get a weapon. You must have a weapon. You must get any weapon that is legal to have and keep it in your house and not worry so much that you're going to use it to kill yourself. If you're a gunophobe or a gun neurotic, I can't help you, then you shouldn't get a weapon. And many liberals, by the way, are against guns because they're afraid they'll shoot themselves, or their wife will shoot them for being the weaklings they are, or one of their drugged-up children will take the gun and accidentally shoot themselves. That's the real reason they're afraid of guns, liberals.
Heil Hitler!
He is frustrated because he cares about the small people, and we care about the small people. We care about the small people.
All right, back with Special Agent in charge of the DEA's Atlanta Field Division. Rodney Benson is his name. Rodney, I want to put up the map here. And this is going to show all of the cities in America where these drug cartels have come across the border and set up shop. I mean, it is like America has the chicken pox. It is absolutely... I mean, it's amazing. Tell America what this means.
I mean, it means that they're controlling wholesale distribution, Glenn, but it also means that, you know, we are aware of their operations. Look at the last 5 months. 2 of the most significant operations in DEA's history, Project Reckoning and Operation Accelerator, targeting those members in small cities, mid-sized, large cities, but also, more importantly, going all the way back down to Mexico and working with the Mexican government to target the leadership.
Rodney, is there any frustration on the part of people in Atlanta or anywhere in the country that, I mean, could have said this was going to happen a long, long time ago, trying to get control down of our southern border? A lot of people are going to look at this and say, wait a minute, these are the same people that down south are cutting people's heads off if they interfere, are making Phoenix the #2 kidnapping capital of the entire world, and this all could have been prevented. Is there any frustration from the media, A, not telling the real story, or the government just screwing around on the border for one reason or another?
I mean, there's no frustration, Glenn. I mean, our mission is very clear.
No, I'm not saying with you. I'm saying with the average person. I'm not saying with you, Rodney. I'm not. Look, you're in a tough position here. I'm asking you, do you sense? Because as a dad, if I'm living in Atlanta and this is happening in my city, if I'm living in Phoenix and this is happening in my city, I don't care what anybody says officially. I'm pissed off. Because now my neighborhood is going down the crapper because we didn't get control of our borders.
But also the two, Glenn, I can't emphasize the victories and the positive change. Because right now, look at availability decreasing. Look at purity decreasing. Look at prices increasing. Those are important markers. I mean, look, I can give you anecdotal where neighbors, as we go into these communities and we extract out that drug criminal that had been there for a long time and take away those weapons. I mean, they are very positive on what's being done. I mean, there's more to be done, but also there's more to be done on the southern border. But I can tell you right now that the Calderon administration is full speed ahead on going after those cartels.
Rodney, you and your boys, you stay safe. Thank you for your
trust. Do you trust the government?
Sí, no sé, pues. Jálala, ¿lo jalo? Pues lo voy a yo, agarra. Pues agarra. Sí. Echamos en esa los con. Echamos los
He is frustrated because he cares about the small people and we care about the small people. We care about the small people.
What we fear is loss of liberty. What we fear is our rights being taken away.
Trust. Do you trust the government?